Good afternoon, I am Rob Dolina. Welcome to News Express, where we bring you the news that matters. For today's headlines, 1 million pesos worth of illegal drugs seized in northern Luzon. Metro Manila placed under high risk due to the COVID-19 Delta variant. 7 dead in Kabul airport as Afghans attempt to flee from Taliban invasion. The Department of Health under scrutiny due to corruption allegations involving 67 billion pesos. Alarms raised in Bonifacio Global City after a fire outbreak. And Bella Medical Group ad receives backlash on social media. As the Duterte administration continues its anti-drug campaign, almost 1 million pesos worth of illegal drugs were seized in 2 separate buy-bust operations in northern Luzon. For the full report, we have Petrosca Pardillo.
During a crackdown in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, 4 suspects were arrested for the illegal possession of 600,000 pesos worth of marijuana. In San Fernando City, Pampanga, 2 suspects were arrested during a buy-bust operation. Pampanga police recovered almost 55 grams of crystal meth or shabu, amounting to an estimated value of 340,000 pesos.
We conducted casing and surveillance, then yun nga ma'am, positive na nagbabagsak nga sila ng shabu.
All suspects from both Bulacan and Pampanga crackdowns will be facing charges for violation of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act. This is Petrosca Pardillo for News Express.
Health experts warn that the Delta variant is more fatal in children as the number of pediatric COVID cases reaches almost 180,000. More details from Gian Castro. Gian?
The Department of Health has reported about 176,000 COVID cases in children. Out of these, almost half were from those in the 15 to 20 age group, and most of the cases had mild to no symptoms. As of airing, there are 466 recorded deaths, with most having comorbidities. However, PIDSP President Dr. Mary Ann Bunyi says that the actual number of cases may be higher due to the possibility of underreporting of infections.
In order to improve the landscape of COVID-19 among Filipino children, it will be helpful to capture these children with mild respiratory symptoms by testing them for COVID-19.
As the Delta variant continues to spread rapidly, the Philippines has yet to start vaccinating children due to limited supply. With this, health experts advise to ramp up vaccinations in adults to protect the younger population. Bringing you the news that matters, Gian Castro.
NCR placed under high risk due to the Delta variant. And turmoil in Kabul airport as Taliban takes over. Only here on News Express.
If you wanna get sunshine, walking on the rooftop, I'ma go get some.
Europress, specialty coffee made easy.
After DOH classified Metro Manila as low risk back in June, NCR once again returns to the high risk classification, reaching over 14,000 COVID cases in one day. We have Krista Semanya for the full story. Krista, status?
The World Health Organization warned DOH against placing the Philippines at low risk, saying that the wrong messaging may result in a lower compliance. In an online press briefing led by DOH Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere this week, Metro Manila is listed as high risk due to its high average daily attack rate, or ADAR.
The National Capital Region maintains positive 2-week growth rate and a high-risk average daily attack rate, and it is currently at high-risk classification.
Starting from August 6 to 20, Metro Manila will be placed again under enhanced community quarantine in preparation for the Delta variant.
Krista, with the increase in Delta variant cases, are booster shots now becoming a viable solution?
Rob, countries like Israel and the United States have already started their third booster shots, but here in the Philippines, we have yet to do this due to the limited number of vaccines available. However, there was a recent report of an individual who posted on social media that he has been injected with a dose of Moderna in Quezon City after already receiving 2 shots of Sinovac in Mandaluyong.
So, what are the legal implications of this case?
Rob, as expected, he received backlash on social media, but DOH Undersecretary Vergere says that there are no legal sanctions. According to her, it's more of a moral issue. Despite this, Mayor Joy Belmonte of Quezon City and Mayor Menchi Abalos of Mandaluyong insist that they will still be pressing charges.
That was Krista Semanya reporting live from Quezon City. In an attempt to flee the Taliban invasion, residents of Afghanistan flocked the Kabul airport, causing a stampede that led to the death of 7 individuals. More details from Gwen Libot. Gwen, can we have a status report? Gwen?
Taliban forces have now taken over the Afghan capital as Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani flees Kabul. This takeover comes months after the U.S. administration under Trump struck a deal with the Taliban to pull out their forces from Afghanistan. After the pullout, the militants took over Afghan provinces in quick succession and culminating in the fall of Kabul last Sunday. In effect, Afghan residents are seeking to flee the country, causing a stampede in Hamid Karzai International Airport as it remains the last stronghold free from the Taliban. Based on these footages of what can only be described as pure chaos, hundreds of people are seen clinging on to the U.S. military aircraft as it tries to take off. American troops fired gunshots in the air in an attempt to control the situation, but to no avail.
As of the moment, it is still unclear whether the deaths of the 7 civilians were caused by gunshots or the stampede.
Gwen, after this footage of the residents clinging on to the plane, what is the result of the situation?
Rob, one plane actually took off and there was a disturbing footage that showed 2 people falling off a US military aircraft. However, most of the planes were grounded due to the sheer number of people on the runway. US troops had to set up a perimeter and fire warning shots to try and defuse the people pouring in.
So, Gwen, the fact that these people are trying to get out of Afghanistan, this already presents the risk of being identified as a non-supporter, correct?
Yes, Rob, exactly. Because the Taliban now has complete control over Kabul, some Afghans are now in hiding, unsure of what will happen in the next coming days.
And how about our OFWs in the area?
Rob, the Department of Foreign Affairs has raised an alert level 4 and ordered the immediate evacuation of the 132 OFWs in the country. 35 of the evacuees have just arrived here in Naiya Terminal 1, while another 19 are set to leave Kabul immediately. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque has also confirmed that the Philippines will be accepting Afghan refugees.
So, Gwen, what was the international reaction to the Taliban takeover?
Rob, the takeover now opens doors for U.S. rivals to work with the Taliban. Both China and Russia have made statements that they will be supporting the new Taliban-led Afghanistan.
Thank you very much. That was Gwen Libot reporting live from Naiya Terminal 1. After the break, COA flags DOH for 67 billion pesos in misused funds, and alarms raised in Bonifacio Global City after an explosion. Only here on News Express.
Lysal, kumare mo sa paglinis.
Bonifacio Global City residents were alarmed due to an explosion past 6 p.m. on Wednesday night. Based on initial investigations by the Bureau of Fire Protection, construction workers accidentally struck a gas pipe, which resulted in a gas explosion followed by a fire. Fire out was officially declared 3 hours later at 9:35 p.m. Although there were no reported casualties, a project safety officer suffered third-degree burns but was quickly brought to St. Luke's Medical Center. He is currently in stable condition. Taguig City Mayor Lina Cayetano says that they are still investigating what triggered the actual explosion. News Express has reached out to the building contractor for comments, but they have yet to respond. In a recent report, the Commission on Audit flagged the Department of Health with regard to their fund usage. Reporting live from the DOH Central Office, we have Ivan Olfato. Now, Ivan, what did the audit report say?
Rob, the 2020 audit report on the Department of Health showed poor usage of COVID-19 funds, amounting to 67.3 billion pesos among other fund deficiencies.
Wastage of government funds and depriving the public of benefits. These are the observations that the Commission on Audit made on the DOH fund usage. The report showed 95.1 million in expired, nearly expiring, and overstocked drugs and medicines, while 4 billion in equipment and facilities were found to be undelivered, unutilized, or with substantial delay in implementation. However, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III responded that all deficiencies are accounted for.
Ang atin workforce hindi naman full capacity. Nagkakaroon ng antala sa submissions ng mga dokumento, pero hindi dahil walang dokumento.
The past year saw hospitals, both public and private, overwhelmed with over 1.7 million COVID cases. Patients are left with beds in makeshift tents and hallways, yet the waiting time in COVID wards can still take days.
The report also showed a 67.3 billion peso public fund that was intended to combat the effects of COVID-19 in the country. The fund included the budget for vaccine procurement, but with the surge of the more contagious Delta variant and the recent entry of the Lambda variant, only 12.5 million Filipinos have been fully vaccinated.
Though Duque vows to present the needed documents to clarify the issues by next week, lawmakers have since called for his resignation.
Even was President Duterte able to comment on the matter?
Rob, in his recent talk to the people, President Duterte asked COA to stop flagging government agencies because, in his words, it commends the agency or person. He also said that he will not let Duque resign even if the secretary wants to. In a House probe conducted on Thursday, Secretary Duque broke down, stating that he has been losing sleep since the report came out. He further stressed that the Commission on Audit has destroyed the Department of Health.
Thank you, Ivan. That was Ivan Olfato reporting for News Express. Following the Philippines' historical stint in the 2020 Olympics, more financial support pours in for Filipino athletes with disabilities for the upcoming Paralympic Games. We have Zach Dedel for the full story. Zach, can you tell us what's going on?
According to Philippine Sports Commission Chairman William Ramirez, the entire Philippine Paralympic team's allowance will now be increased to 150,000 pesos from their initial 50,000 peso budget. Ramirez hopes that this increase will ignite inspiration among our Paralympians and help them with their expenses. Meanwhile, the Nationals are hoping to maintain the momentum of their able-bodied counterparts from the recently concluded Tokyo Games. The Philippine Paralympic team consists of swimmers Gary Behino and Ernie Gawilan, wheelchair racer Gerald Mangliwan, discus thrower Jeanette Aceveda, powerlifter Aishel Guion, and taekwondo jin Elaine Ganapin. The 6 Paralympians will need our support as they fly out on August 22 for the Tokyo Paralympics, which will be held from August 24 to September 5. Meanwhile, on the ground in the Tokyo Paralympic Village, a single COVID case has been detected just days before the games are due to start. According to the organizers, the person who tested positive is not an athlete nor a resident of Japan. Tokyo is currently under a 4th state of emergency brought by COVID-19, but organizers are confident in keeping cases at bay as they did in the recently concluded Tokyo Olympics. We come back with the weather after the break, only here on News Express.
Wherever you go, however you do it, we are here together. What's life without a little daylight? Daylight. Insurance with assurance.
Babe, ano ba naman to? Ang labo mo.
Ano? Eh di maghanap ka ng bagong jowa.
Malabo ba? Sa EO, walang labo-labo.
Babe? Babe?
For the weather today, we are currently monitoring Tropical Depression Isang, 1,290 kilometers east of Tuguegarao City. It is currently moving northwest at 25 kilometers per hour. As of now, Tropical Depression Isang is still far out, so no warning signal has been raised. So, for the entirety of Luzon and the rest of the country, we'll be seeing fair weather through the morning, while in the evening we can expect isolated rain showers. And for astronomy enthusiasts, look to the sky after sunset. This is the best time to see Jupiter with the naked eye as it goes into opposition until sunrise. That was the latest for today. I'm Zach Dudell delivering you the weather for News Express.
Thank you, Zach. This just in. As Metro Manila transitions to modified enhanced community quarantine, 7 areas in Muntinlupa City will stay under lockdown from August 19 to September 2 due to 17 new active cases in the city. The Muntinlupa LGU calls this Extreme Localized Community Quarantine, or ELCQ, placing the city in a literal lockdown. Residents are restricted from leaving their homes and only one road is open for distribution of aid. Included in the ECQ are the following areas: Katarungan Village, Barangay Poblacion, Angelo Street, Horileno Street, Endencia Street, Paredes Street, Barrera Street, and Building 17, Philinvest Socialized Housing in Barangay Alabang. According to the Muntinlupa City Government, the rollout of relief goods mass testing will still continue during the entirety of ELCQ. A recent ad from the Bella Medical Group has caused outrage on social media. To give us the full report, we have Kay Tolentino.
In an ad released by the Bella Medical Group, a woman is shown being bombarded by the news of the COVID-19 pandemic. This then causes her appearance to change over time. Netizens went to social media to criticize the ad for body shaming and setting unrealistic beauty standards. Celebrity Sab Magalona, who was initially part of the #Pandemic Effect campaign, called out the Bella Medical Group, saying that the ad was 100% insensitive and tactless. Meanwhile, Giggle, the ad agency that created the campaign, has also issued a statement of apology, saying Giggle shares responsibility for the film. We will learn from this and we will do better.
The Bella Medical Group has since apologized and they've taken down the ad hours after receiving flack on social media. Delivering you the news that matters, Kay Tolentino.
And those were the top stories for today. Again, I am Rob Dolina. This is News Express, where we bring you the news that matters.